I have decided to DNF.
We're going book shopping.
Like, Queer to me is Evermore being a Christmas album.
Hi, welcome to my channel. We're doing some bookish things and this is also a little bit of a reading vlog. So right now what we're doing is we're going book shopping. We're just jumping straight in because I got a Waterstones voucher for Christmas and I am seriously considering going in a book buying ban in January because I really need to get through my physical TBR, because why do I own all these books if I'm not reading them, you know? So that's happening. Anyway, yeah, we're going book shopping. I also have to do some clothes shopping and visiting Leeds, and Leeds have a blank street now. So I'm going to try my first ever blank street and I'm really excited. And yeah, this is just going to be a bookish little vlog. Once I've acquired some books, we'll do a little bit of a book haul and then I'll tell you guys what I'm currently reading because I'm in the middle of 2 books right now. That's 4, but 2. And let's just dive right into it. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's go. So I did some damage, but I also had a gift card, so not all is lost. But I thought before I show you what I got, I would show you what I got for Christmas because I'm a very lucky girl and I'm just so happy. So firstly, I got a new Kindle. My partner got me a Kindle Colour Soft and I am obsessed with it. And isn't it funny to be a reader and to be obsessed with a Kindle and also buying books? But that's just me. So this was one of my main presents and I absolutely love it. I have decorated it and got this case from Amazon and I think it's so beautiful and I'm so happy. It's obviously colourful and it's just the best. From my partner's family, I actually asked for the hardback box set of Avatar because I don't own the books, but I love them. So I want them and I want to reread them this year, actually. I'm obsessed with these. Even I specifically love the red, which is obviously a hot take because this book, if I can get it out. Yeah, so I love them and I'm so happy and grateful with these. Let's have a look at what I got from Waterstones, shall we? I had actually reserved 2 of them and this one, which is probably the most special one, was half price and it is Red City by Marie Lu, and I have seen Jamie read this and absolutely love it, so I was like, I wanna read it. And it has a beautiful sprayed edge as well. I think it is stunning. Yeah, I'm so happy with this and it's also signed as well, so very happy with this, can't wait to read it. And then the next 2 I have been wanting to read for such a long time, so I finally picked them up. The first one is Scythe. This is by Neil Schusterman. Yeah, I've been wanting to get into this for like a really long time and I think that the world and sort of like the magic and everything going on in here is very interesting, so I'm really excited to read this. And then I got Jade City by Fonda Lee, and these are new to the UK, these covers. because I had seen the older covers, but now that we have this, I think I love it. I do. I think she's stunning. So that's the third book I got. And then the final book that I got is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And I am scared of this, but I'm in such a fiction mood, and I believe this is historical fiction, so might read this in January, because last January I read The Nightingale and it was my favourite book of the year. Maybe. It was in my top 3. So yeah, really excited to read this. I'm just going to read this with you guys and then I'll tell you what it's about. But yeah, really happy with this, and I think that it's just a wonderful little book haul. I'm so excited about all of these, and as I said, thinking about going on a book buying ban, so needed to stock up on the anticipated reads for me. So this is everything that I got. As you will see, we had a blank street because they've opened one in Leeds and it was lovely. I had a blueberry matcha and it was gorgeous. And yeah, I've had a really nice wholesome afternoon. I'm going to see Wicked tonight with my sister and my mum. And yeah, that's it for bookish things today. I will talk to you guys about the book I'm reading in the next clip, I promise. I promise I'll talk about it. But not right now because I'm watching White Collar with my boyfriend, so see ya. As bloody promised, shall we finally talk about the books that I'm reading? So first off, I started In the Veins of Drowning, and this is by Kaylee Cassidy, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but it's very much meant to be about sirens, and I will be the first person to tell you that it plays such a minor part in this story, and it's just really let me down. I am actually 220 pages in, so yeah, I've read a lot of this. I would say I've read probably just under 2/3 of the book, and for this to be a siren book, it's just not giving that whatsoever, and it's really upset me. Actually, I really wanted a little bit more of that, because I love books that are set either like crossing the seas or in the sea or anything to do with the ocean. I really enjoy it, so I was hoping that this had a little bit more of that, but it really hasn't. So for a little bit of a synopsis on this book, we are following our main character, Imogen. She believes that she was adopted by the king of a land where sirens are like hunted and killed. So sirens are a big no, like everything that they do is to protect themselves from the sirens and to kill off the sirens, and they do a lot of sort of like nasty things to those people, and that's just kind of their culture. And we start the book with this event happening, and a king from another realm comes, and his name is Theodore, and he is our MMC, and he is interested in Imogen. He's interested in why she is so passive about how awful the place is that she lives in, and he's very suspicious of her. And essentially, the two of them, let's just say they go on a quest. And I don't want to tell you any more than that because I haven't read the blurb, and right now I don't have my glasses on, so I can't do that. But
yeah, that's essentially like the start of the book. Things obviously go a bit wild and we start uncovering some truths and mysteries are solved and we get questions and questions and then answers and answers. But none of it has had me like engaged whatsoever. I have not been interested much at all, really, by this book. So it's quite frustrating, but I've switched to audio. I was going to DNF it, but I thought, look, if it's the final book of the year, then it's the final book of the year and it's rubbish. But, you know, I'm not going to finish another book in the next 3 days, considering I'm in the middle of 2 books. So I thought I'll just finish it and that can be that. So that's what I'm going to do. In the Veins of the Drowning, it's fine. I'm just not connected to it. And then the next book that I'm currently in the middle of is Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrane. And I pulled this book for my December TBR and it's a reread for me. It is a Christmas book that I read maybe like 2 or 3 years ago and I absolutely loved it and I gave it 5 stars at the time, and I think it's really hard to find a good Christmas book, to be honest. So I thought, instead of me getting really disappointed by new ones because they don't give me what I need them to give, why don't I just go back to this? And because I didn't remember much of it anyway, so that worked out really well, actually. In this book, we're following 2 female main characters. This is a sapphic romance book set at Christmas, and there's lots of snow, and it's just wonderful. We're following Ellie and Jack. Ellie and Jack had a snow day last Christmas, and they had the most wonderful time. They fell in love over the course of a day. They had the best time ever. They felt so connected and like they were soulmates. And then something happens. Something happens and they don't see each other again. And when you go into the book, you're not really sure why that is, and you kind of uncover it throughout the book. Whilst we're uncovering all of that stuff, we have Ellie in a rather nasty, unfortunate financial position. Her mother is essentially just the worst mum on the planet. She keeps asking her for money and literally draining her bank accounts. She's like, I need money. And there's this guy that owns the building that she works at, and he's like, let's go on a date. And then he's like, actually, let's get fake married. And she's like, what? And he essentially needs to marry her so that he can get his inheritance and she's going to get a cut of it. And she's like, fine, I really need this actually because I hate my job. I love art, but I've stopped doing what I love and I blah, 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 whatever. So that's what happens. And then it turns out that this guy that she agrees to fake marry, Andrew, she has to go spend Christmas with his family. That's like one of the rules of their engagement. And when she gets there, she realises that Andrew is Jack's brother. So it's obviously very messy, but this book is so fun. You have 2 grandmas. Yeah, you have Lovey and Mima, and they are honestly just so hilarious. And I love everything about the holiday spirit in this book and the family time, and it's just wonderful. Honestly, I would absolutely recommend it. I have not even scratched the surface with sort of like the things that this book entails. That's just like the basic storyline, but it has kind of like a flashback timeline because you kind of get like a past timeline of when Jack and Ellie were together last Christmas through kind of like a web comic, but without the graphic design and like all of like the comic and artistry. You just get kind of like an email format of like what happened, and it's just so nice like to read it in real time and then go back to now and see sort of how much has changed in a year and how they've got themselves in this sticky situation. Honestly, it's so good, and I'm really sorry if I've told you too much there, but this book is brilliant and it makes me feel warm and cozy and I just love it. So anyway, how much of this book have I read? I am on page 285. So I have probably about 60 to 80 pages left. I'm not 100% sure, but obviously I'm enjoying it. I loved it the first time around, and this is the second time only ever that I've actually reread a book. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm a re-rater, like if I rate them again, if I've already read them and gave them initial rating the first time around, but I want to do a lot more rereading in 2026. So maybe I'll make the rule next year, but right now I'm not really sure. These are the 2 books that we are in the middle of currently, and I think for tonight I'm going to pick up Kiss Her Once for Me because honestly I've had the most wonderful day and I just had a shower and I'm feeling very cozy, and I'm thinking maybe we can read some more of this book together. Probably won't be able to finish it tonight, but honestly I'm really not rushing this book. I don't feel any sort of pressure in terms of my book goal or reading goals for December or anything like that. I'm literally just having a good time and reading something that makes me happy. So let's do that together.
There's nobody son left for me to Anyway, this is the only jelly cat that I own, and my sister got me it last Christmas, and I love her so much. She sits in my car. Anyway, we finished this last night. We did. Kiss Her Once for Me. I did not anticipate finishing it last night because I genuinely thought that I had longer left in the book, but I don't know what it is about reading something for the second time, but like, you take things in differently. Like, yes, I kind of know what's happening, but you're also so familiar with the writing, and it was wonderful. There's a couple of things that I just want to I was going to say congratulate. No, that's not what I mean. I just want to thank Alison Cochrane for a couple of things. The first one is the inclusion of so many different sort of like queer things being brought up so casually. Like, queer to me is Evermore being a Christmas album, and you putting that in the book. Like, yes, that's exactly what I need when I'm reading queer romance. The second thing, though, and more importantly, is that like, they really casually dropped in some sort of like really casual, easy, on the nose biphobia. The reason why I appreciate it is because it is just so normal and so common for people to be like, oh, you have a boyfriend now, so I'm glad you're over that phase. And it's like, it's not really how it works, but I just appreciated that that was included in the book from a bad parent, you know? So that was fun. Loved that. I still love this book. I find it so cozy, and I think it's perfect at this time of year because it's so snowy, it's so romantic, but also the characters are so real as well. Like, I see how flawed both Ellie, Elena, and Jack are. I appreciate that Elle is by no means perfect, and I don't know if I really sort of like sat on this the first time that I read it, but Alison actually does say in the acknowledgements as well that this is a book about failure and being scared to fail and just living in fear, and that has nothing to do with the queerness of this book, which is nice, but just generally committing to anything and wanting to put yourself in a vulnerable position sometimes to get what you want and strive for your dreams. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but it's kind of like really nice to read and almost like reflective, and I really enjoyed that about this book this time around, because I honestly felt like I was glossing over everything that Elle was doing, and then when it comes to the end of the book and we talk about the theme of failure generally in her life, I was like, wow, yeah, I just ignored all of that. Yeah, I'm just really glad that this time around I really soaked that in and I kind of used it to reflect. So that was really nice. But obviously I love this book. It was a reread and I still love it. I will tell you right now, it's 99p on Kindle right now. So go buy it, go read it. Or go buy it now and read it next Christmas. You won't regret it. It's fun. At the very least, it's a really fun time. I just personally connect with the story and the themes a lot. So yeah, that's this book. I'll speak to you guys when I either finish In the Veins of Drowning, or maybe if I pick up another book. Not sure if I'm going to read another book in this vlog, or if we're just going to finish what we're currently reading and end out the year together. But I'm going out tonight, so not a big reading day for me. Anyway, I'm going. In a not so shocking turn of events, I have decided to DNF In the Veins of the Drowning. I actually decided this, I think it was New Year's Eve. It's now the 2nd of January, and I just do not need to be reading books that I don't want to read. I felt very slumpish, actually, and I just thought, why am I forcing this? Like, nobody's forcing me to read this book. I don't need to read it. So it has joined my very fat, huge unhaul pile. So that will be available to somebody else soon, but it just wasn't for me. And like I say, I've been feeling a little bit slumpish, and I think it was just because of how busy the Christmas period was. I wasn't
I was in the mood to read, but I couldn't commit time to doing it, so I just found myself, just struggling when I was reading. So anyway, I've DNF'd that book, and I don't know if it's the book's fault or if it is me, but either way, that's over and done with. But I have, in fact, started, what are you going to be able to see? Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney, because I thought about buying this book not too long ago, and I've just realised it's on Kindle Unlimited, and it's made me think maybe I can just read books on my Kindle before I buy them, so that it prevents me from spending the money, well, more money, on physical books, because books tend to be cheaper on Kindle. But I'm also obsessed with just reading on this right now, obviously, because it's new. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll just read on here, and then if I love something, I can buy it. But anyway, we've started this book, and to give you a little bit of a brief synopsis, we are following Grady, and his wife has gone missing, and it's all very mysterious. Grady is a writer, and we follow a conversation and an event that happens the night that Abby goes missing, which is his wife. And then we fast forward to a year later, and his agent, I believe, editor, anyway, she says, you know what, you're really losing it. Why don't you go to this cabin on a remote Scottish island and go and try to write something, because she inherited this cabin from a dead writer, which is suspicious. Anyway, there's lots of suspicious things going on in this book. I feel like it is gaslighting me to hell, actually, because of how many questions the writing brings. Like, it's so overt in saying, like, ooh, is this suspicious? Like, I don't know, I'm feeling a bit weird about it, but it's definitely easy to read, and to be honest, some of it feels a little bit repetitive, not feeling 5-star potential, but it's quick and easy to pick up. And in my slumpish time, this is what we do over here. We pick up a mystery thriller and we just don't put any pressure on ourselves. So we're gonna go from reading the last book of 2025, which was Kiss Once for Me, to reading my first book of 2026, which is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I will let you guys know when I have a sizable update or when I finished the book, and maybe we'll do some other bookish things before I finish out the vlog, because you will have seen that I reorganised my bookshelf, and that is the only bookshelf I have. So I am trying to be really specific about the books that I keep and the ones that I want on my shelves, because I think I'll reread them and I love them and I'll recommend them and all that sort of thing. And right now, there's definitely books both on my TBR shelf and on my red shelf that I'm just not 100% sure I need. So yeah, big unhaul coming soon. Already have about 25 books that I'm going to be unhauling, so that's fun. Maybe we will do that, but right now I'm going to work. So I'll speak to you guys soon. I have finished Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney, and I feel so indifferent about it. When I spoke to you last, I was talking about sort of like the gaslighting and sort of like the constant overt suspense that was given through the writing. That definitely continued, and I think obviously I've had a little bit of time to think about it, and I think that all of that suspense, plus the fact that our main character Grady kind of felt really unreliable, and not in your usual sense. In this sense, it just kind of felt like he just had no idea what was going on. Like, he was an alcoholic and he didn't trust anything, he didn't know anything for sure, and he was just, it kind of got a little bit frustrating. Like, I need a main character that has some sort of brain cells, and Grady didn't. No, he really didn't, and that kind of like started to frustrate me a little bit, because I think then, as the reader, you especially when you're in first person perspective, you don't really get the chance to sort of feel like you can figure anything out or really sort of like track where things are going, because the mind that you're in and the perspective that you're getting the whole story from, he just don't know shit. He just really did not know what was happening. So yeah, I just think that the story in this one was the problem for me, because I feel like I liked Alice Feeney's writing, and I think I could probably read a couple of her other books just to sort of see how they went, because I know that some people really love her books, and is it Rock Paper Scissors, I think, is like one that some people like particularly are obsessed with. So I wouldn't write her off. I just think that this story wasn't for me. And another thing that I'm really happy about is that I almost bought this book, and I'm really glad I didn't now, because I feel so indifferent about it. And I think that the cover is beautiful. If you've seen the actual cover in person, like, it has this like lovely foiling on the writing. I think it's silver, and it's just really beautiful. But I don't need to own a book that I'm not bothered about just because it has a pretty cover. We're trying to change our ways in 2026. Happy New Year to you guys, and thank you for watching my first video of 2026. I hope that it is wonderful for you, and as always, thank you for watching.